Okay, lesson 102 with your girls. Sleepy girl here, recently caffeinated girl. So, lesson 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. And so I'm enjoying the happiness lessons. I'm sure I said that. I said that about the holiness lessons. But in my contract, as I told you videos ago, I was really excited this year to focus on my function. Back in the day, my function was forgiveness. That's how I was holding it in my mind in my contract. You okay? No, I don't want that, thank you. Oh, sleepy girl. But I love the idea of replacing that my function is happiness. And, oh dear. Oh. She would be happy though, if I turn music on, she will rock into a whole nother. Something's going on with her teeth though. Okay. So as I did the lesson, as I repeated, I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. You want this? Okay. Hi. Then it says, seek this function deep within your mind, for it is there, awaiting but your choice. You cannot fail to find it when you learn it is your choice and that you share God's will. Be happy, for your only function here is happiness. You have no need to be less loving to God's Son than He whose love created Him. I love that. So I had a great practice opportunity today because I did one of those things called assumptions. I did a blooper called expectations. And so I'm doing Friday grocery shopping. I told you last week about the guy who stood 12 feet behind the disheveled looking man. That was my interesting experience. This week, I thought, we're going to do this. We're learning from last week. We're building, we're getting better at this. It's less, I just feel like we're getting a system in our household, how to do this. I go do it. Fill up the sink with water and soap, throw the vegetables and fruits. And last week, my husband gave Justine a bath while I was downstairs putting everything away so she wouldn't want to climb on me and touch everything. So I was just assumed he wouldn't do that again. And I text him on my way thinking he would put 1 + 2 equals, he's giving her a bath. Go strategy, we rock, go team us. And so I come home and they're not at all upstairs having a bath. They're just watching Blippi TV show. And I saw that he didn't want to do that. So I was so in the lessons that I was okay, doesn't mean anything. And what was helping me to stay above any temptation to be was the thought came to me, everything's neutral and so it was okay, I'm focused on staying happy and joyful and not falling into a rut and not lowering my vibration, literally not letting my vibration fall. So I just held that all is neutral, it's fine. And it was fine. They did their thing, I did my thing. It was totally fine. The energy was relaxed. So that's what's helping me, because my mind kind of leaves the happiness island and starts swimming toward misery. When I am unable to see something as neutral or okay, when I'm unable to accept something, when I'm arguing with something. So that's interesting. And then as I did the lesson, and it was seek your mind, seek this function deep within your mind, I had that sense that like, just like I don't really, I'm learning what love is. Happiness is probably similarly like something I don't even really, like I hold in my mind in a polarity way. So I could just feel myself like exploring, what does this really mean? She just stuck her foot in the plant. It's fine. It doesn't mean anything. Okay. Because just like, we're going for unconditional love where people's actions don't change the underlying commitment. I believe that's something I'm working on with happiness. This is a little wrestling for me, girl. It's unconditional happiness. So I don't think I know what that is, or necessarily, because then my mind was throwing these ideas at me like, okay, well, there are things like I think I can get to a point where I can work my way out of my normal like pitfalls. But I was like, well, what if I was, for example, being held at gunpoint? Would I be happy, or is that just mean I would sort of be in trust? I'd be in peace. So I think happy is the same thing as love. Doesn't mean attraction necessarily, like as we're learning the deeper meanings. You see all the flying, somebody said there's lots of orbs. Whoa, and I'm like, is it just dust in my house? So I think that's the thing about happiness, is that just that, if we could measure our vibration like we can measure our temperature, like the way David Hawkins has the consciousness scale and there's joy. Yeah, what you're saying makes more sense.
Doggy.
Yeah, we can see doggies out the window here. Yeah, so I feel like at least my awareness is peaked and a little like stimulated that we're moving not to a roller coaster life of ups and being like way up, but that perhaps joy is acceptance and peace. Okay? So we're gonna say bye. But if any of you have any suggestions for where I can find the definition of happiness, unless I missed it, just tell me, it's okay. According to the Course in Miracles. But we're grateful over here to share God's will for happiness, and we're looking forward to tomorrow's lesson. Of course we are. So, signing off from one happy home to yours. Much love.